Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Rachel Estabrook. This is Inside the Industry, and today I am sitting down with my dear friend Ashley Roller, new Mrs. Roller. We're going to be going down and listening to her journey from all her jobs, everything she is shaking and making moves in our industry. Stay tuned. This is for sure one to not miss. Ashley? Thank you for coming. Not what's up. Not just like, oh, hey, hello. Why are you here? I love it. Thank you for coming on my podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I'm super stoked. It's taken us a minute to get you, mostly on my end, but also predominantly because you are extremely busy.
Oh, no. Never too busy for you.
You're like literally the busiest person I've ever physically met. Never not busy, Ashley.
So you probably met like 3 people then.
Yeah, so it's good. Okay. Yeah, you're on the top of that. 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have many friends, but you're one of my busiest.
Okay, what an honor. Thank you.
On the real, I'm so excited to have you on. Because we've had a lot of hair and makeup people on. This is an entertainment industry type podcast where we have a bunch of different guests on in that pocket. But you, me as a makeup artist and watching you, because you've done both. You do hair and makeup. You design, you head shows, you do TV, you do, you're really all of it. You've touched almost every part of the industry, I feel like, correct?
I feel like I've run the gamut.
Yeah,
a little
really,
bit.
Truly. Yeah. I could go down your resume right now. And we're going to kind of save that for a little bit later and dive deep into some of her really, I would say monumental, really game-changing moments that you've had in your career. One of many. Us being, I've gotten to know you. You were my boss at Lion King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is so weird to say.
It is weird. Because, that's the weirdest thing. Because me and Ashley are friends and have known you for a minute.
Yeah.
But we got to know each other. We both actually went out for the same gig. And I'm really happy you got it because I was not, I'm not worthy. I really wasn't prepared. That was not my thing. No. So you became the head makeup supervisor, head hair and makeup supervisor for the Lion King Rafiki tour, correct?
Yes.
And this went out what year?
Summer of 2017.
Okay, and you wrote it out for 2 years you stayed on, and that was the role that you accompanied. Okay, cool. And then from there, where did we go?
So in 2017, I joined the tour as the head of hair and makeup on Lion King. And then in 2019, I got promoted to associate hair and makeup designer for all the worldwide productions of The Lion King. And so then I
Casual.
left.
No,
super casual.
A really light flex, Ashley. Thank you. Yes. Oh no, just the overseer of all of Lion King ever. Okay, that's fine. That's huge. Were you not did you die for that? I would love to dive. There's a lot we're going to talk with Ashley about today as far as her journey, what she's accomplished, and the type of woman that she is in this industry, and a lot of the standards that she set, and a lot of things that she's changing, which is huge because you are a game changer. You're a leader. But when this role, I'm not even going to use the word fell upon your lap because you worked really hard to get there. And I think if we even look back at your career up until when this opportunity was presented to you, you were ready to take it, right? This was I can do this. Because I can only bet, I would dare say if I got that role, but I don't know if I'd be ready for that. That's a really big deal. And that's a lot of responsibility. Were you ready for it? Were you okay, I'm doing this, or was it scary? Explain that whole process, I guess.
Well, I think I felt kind of all of those things. When I got the phone call about it, I was like, did you guys ask everybody else first?
Did you go around town?
Yeah.
Did you make sure it's just me, right? If anybody else said no, I'll do it. Yeah.
Did everyone else said no before you came to me, right? I was end of the line.
No options are left. I guess I have to.
And I was like, okay, well, they figured out she'll say yes.
She's gonna do it.
Yeah. But I definitely felt. I was super honored, obviously, and I was excited and I wanted to do it. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous.
Yeah.
And if I was definitely a little scared, this is a big deal. Can I do this? But ultimately after talking to my wife Lindsay and really thinking about it for a while, because I told him I need some time to really think about this. And
did they give you time? It wasn't like, you better tell us right now. It was hey, big life change here.
Yeah.
A lot of big job, a lot of travel. Because I mean, it's not just, hey, would you like this job? And it's a week that you do it or a month you'll be doing it. It's like this job, if for people that don't know that title and what that entails, what do they say? What do they call it? It's one of those, like government jobs, literally, because Lion King isn't going anywhere anytime soon, honey. So when it comes to not only do you just, I mean, here in the U.S., but you go to London, you're all over the place. Wherever Lion King is at, you go in and check in and make sure that things are staying as such. And you oversee purely hair and makeup looks, right?
Yeah. So basically, I visit each production around the world, like 1 to 2 times a year, and then in addition to that, any new productions that get set up, like I oversee setting up those new productions. So I'll hire the team, I'll hire the head of that department, I train them how to do like the hair, the makeup, you know, all those things, and then we get through rehearsal and tech together, and then I like oversee it, see them to opening, and then it's their show, you know.
Yeah, that is actually really wildly crazy. Does it feel like, are you ever, I mean, I'm sure you are, so this is almost like a dumbass question to ask you, but like, of course you are, Ashley, but are you ever in it in the moment? Because I know when I get a job and I'm in the shits, and then you're really just hyper-focused on getting the job done, but you almost can't have that aha moment of like, this is my job, this is my life. Are you having that as you're running around internationally, running around for Lion King, overseeing this like historic show, literally, right? Like, are you just dying the whole time?
I do have, I mean, like, yes. I mean, I definitely have those moments. Like, what was one of them? Like when we celebrated the 20th anniversary of London's West End production, and they brought, they invited like all these like alums of like people who had set up the original London production, like. You know, this is like the 20th anniversary, right? So the people, the children who were in the show at the time are now like adults that are like my age or older, which is nuts. So, you know, seeing all of them and seeing like just the, you know, rock show that it turned into, just like the overwhelming like sense of like joy and pride and just like, you know, like all those things like that, you know, people were experiencing, like it was like definitely like I was like, wow, like I can't believe like
I'm a part
of this
history.
Yeah,
it
this
really
history
is.
And this community that like has developed. You know, like people meet their spouses on Lion King. Like people like raise their kids like on this show. I mean, it's a whole thing.
I mean, not only are we talking about, and I'm just double checking, we're still going here. Lovely, we are. It is insane to even say that because you toured. Yeah. I mean, and now it's almost like you're I don't want to say touring because you're running around in that gamut, but it is like you're saying. I mean, me having toured with you when I popped in as a swing for the Rafiki tour, it is people's lives.
It's their whole lives.
It's not just a job, which I think that's a Lion King is an anomaly like that. I would assume maybe Wicked is those government jobs that it's like shows that are like forever, 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 amen? Like they're just always going. But there is something super extra special about Lion King. Yeah. I don't know if I'm biased just because we've been a part of it. So we're like, obviously it's super special and I've been in it, so duh. Yeah. But like, it really is like watching these families and they're touring with it and that's their lifestyle. It's not just like, oh, I'm doing this for 2-3 months. Like, I'm committed. Does that ever like, I mean, I'm a commitment phobe with a lot of things. Are you ever like, whoa, I'm in this? Yeah. I mean, I have this job. Yeah. As long as I want, apparently. Until they maybe fire me. You won't get fired.
And until, you know, like they see me and they're like,
whoa. Did not even know that she didn't sound that way on the phone. Get her out of here. She's way too cute. She's making us all look bad. Yeah, she's a fraud.
She's a fraud. She's way too attractive.
I don't even want to look at her. She knows nothing.
Yeah. So when I get that phone call, then
it's gonna be my out. That's as far as it goes for me. Yeah. Dang. Wrap it up. Yeah. I'm just so happy to have you back here in New York, though. Oh, I'm really selfish like that. I'm a very selfish person and friend, but I'm really happy to have you here because you're not. I mean, you're back. You're working. It's not like you're back and relaxing. Right. And I would dare say though too, it's like people might get this job and be like, honey, I have a job, and like so you don't work it. You work just as hard. You're not like, cool, I have this really dope job that like is consistent and, you know, I'm sure pays well and does all these things and benefit, but you still keep working just as hard and full time. Like, is that just embedded in you to be that type of person? Would you like be so just bored out of your freaking brain if you were just sitting at home, just like not doing that, like not working? Because you love it so much, but...
I mean, that's like such a good question because like it's just like never even really occurred to me to just like
stop.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like a mentality that like kind of like got ingrained in us in school, like when we were like training to be, working professional hair and makeup people. It's just like, I think you just get so excited about whatever opportunity comes your way, and like you don't want to say no to anything that like, you end up like working a ton. Which I mean, yes, that can sometimes be detrimental, like if you like burn yourself out.
Yeah.
But I think as long as you can like strike that balance.
Yeah. Which can be a difficult balance to get.
Yes.
Because I know I have it daily, weekly sometimes. I've gotten to a better place with it, but it is hard. I agree with you on the whole. It's ingrained in us totally from school. And as far as reaching success with this job, they really, I mean, time is of the essence. Yeah. They tell you, get out, grind, hit the pavement, running, and don't stop. Because once you get that momentum, they don't want you to fall off.
Right.
It's a lot of what we hear in this industry, which I think is detrimental because unless you strike or you're able to find that balance, I think it really does take a minute to get there. Yeah. I've talked about it with a couple people on this podcast as far as kind of needing that momentum at the beginning to really get your fucking gears going. Yeah. But once you get in this kind of like, let's call it like a safe zone of work is coming in, you have a pocket of clients, you're being called for work, you're also still semi-reaching out for work, but you're in it. You're in it. You have that flow. You do have more of the freedom to be able to sit back, relax,
sure,
and maybe take a month off and breathe and recoup from all the go. Yeah. Did you ever, I mean, when I met you on tour, you were in the midst of planning a wedding.
Yes.
So on top of a full-time job, you literally were like, hey, LOL, I'm going to get married, which it's like amazing. And her wife is like, we love Lindsay. We stand Lindsay Roller. Like we will never not. Hello and hi, Lindsay. You're the best. But it is such an endeavor to even just plan a freaking wedding where you like, what the F? Like the whole process, again with like just adding on the plate, honey. She was like, I'll be the head of a department on tour and I'll also just plan a wedding and then I will casually move from this tour to the next thing. And it's ever going.
It's nuts. I mean, and trying to plan a wedding, not where you're going to be getting married. Like, we got married in Manhattan.
I know.
But, we were on tour. So like everything that was happening was like via phone or whatever. Like, I sent my best friend to go look at the flowers and I was like, I trust you.
Oh my God, I have so much respect for that. See, I think I'm anal controlling. Like, did you have to let go with that process a lot, just of circumstance?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, because I feel like I'm the same way. Like, especially with, it's like your wedding, like, obviously, like, you want to, like, make sure, like, every detail is, like, exactly what you want. And, like, I just physically could not do that. And I kind of had to, like, be like, okay, like, this is as much control as I can have of this situation. And at this point, I kind of have to let go and accept or trust that, some other person has my best interests at heart and that they will look out for me. And they did. And it totally worked out the perfect way. But
I love that. You got lucky. You have good company.
I did get
lucky.
Way
to go. Was it Jill?
Yes.
Okay, way to go, Jill. Her maid of honor, we love her. Who's also a makeup and hair artist, killing it. She's over at ABT? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, you're just like in a world of rock stars. I love it. It's like everything to me. Is there ever a point where you were like, hey, let's not do this wedding right now? Were you ever like, let's just wait? Not physically getting married, not the commitment, just the planning of like, whoa, things are a lot. Or was that ever really an option for you guys? Or were you like, you know what? We're going to make this work. We're going to do it. We want to get married now. This is our timeline. This is where we want to do it and how we want to have it done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was ever an option to really like postpone necessarily because at the time we didn't know how long we were going to be on the road. So to us, it was just like, well, we do it now. We do it in a year. We do it in 2 years. Like it doesn't, we just pick a date and we're going to commit to doing it because we don't really know what our life is going to be like, 6 months to a year from now. And then so like, that's just, you just kind of have to like,
go with it. Like, do we ever really know? Because then it could have been you're not on tour, but then you're committed to another full-time gig here.
Yeah, exactly.
When Lindsay's still on tour, so now having the job that you have and you're running around, okay? I mean, periodically, like you said, every couple months you go and you'll visit around the country to pop in with Lion King or whether it be here in residential New York. But then you also are still full-time here as a hair artist. Yeah. Hairstylist, technically.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you are in the hair union.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. But you do dabble in makeup here and there sometimes maybe or not a thing anymore?
It just depends on what the job is, because of the union,
you can't, I know, on a union set, it's not
dabble.
Like, today I'll be a makeup artist.
Yeah,
I wish.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Okay. So then when
that could be a different conversation.
That would be a whole different conversation. God, open up our doors. I love it. But you didn't stop. So now you're here, you're married.
You married.
You did the damn thing.
Yeah.
You're off tour. Is there ever, I mean, and you dove right into what though? I guess what I'm getting at, because I know all these things. I'm trying to phrase them so you guys know them. But you also got a house. Like,
Yes.
you went from like the big, that's why I admire about you. I'm like, this woman, if people, and I love people that make shit happen. You very much make shit happen. You're just like, you know what, opportunity, things are coming. And you're not just like, you know what, no, it's overwhelming, I'm gonna stop. Forget it, shut the doors. You're like, okay, bring it on, I'll figure it out, I'll make a way. It's gonna be stressful for a little bit, but we're gonna work through it. And you do. Every single time you rise to it. Like, so now that you have long distance though in that as well. So you have a home, you guys have resigned, you are living in New York City. We'll not give the address, you creepy ass people that want it. Ew, yuck, David. David, ew. But we're not telling you where I live, but you are a resident in New York.
Yeah.
And Lindsay's still on tour.
Yeah.
Is it okay? How are you feeling about the long distance? Because that is basically where your relationship status is right now. And I don't even say your marriage. Your marriage is
my long distance marriage.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, people who've been in long distance relationships before, I mean, like, you know how it goes. I mean, like, it's certainly not ideal. No.
No, it's hard.
It's really hard. But I mean, obviously when we did that, when I decided to take the associate position, it was something that we had to talk about a lot and like realize that was a factor.
Yeah.
And say, okay, like, is this worth us being long distance for an indeterminate period of time?
Literally. Like, this is not even, like we said, it's not a 3-month commitment.
Yeah.
It's not a, hey, babe, we see the light at the end of the tunnel. This is like, we're making a lifestyle choice right now together. So, and that, I mean, clearly ended up being positive, though, as far as the choice to move forward with it.
Yeah, I mean, and we agreed that, like, we are in a place, like, where, like, we feel strong enough to do that, and we feel, like, comfortable enough and going forward with that decision. And I think that it's, it's totally, like, worked out to our benefit, so far. That being said, of course, like, I want her to eventually, come back to the city, like,
I know.
and she will.
Get off tour, Lindsay. Get off the tour. Somebody fire her and get her off the tour. She's also very, I mean, as far as couples go, you guys are, I mean, if you guys ever even get to like be around them, they're just like the most hilarious, just like so in their own skin. So it's such a beautiful thing to be around. But I mean, she's very accomplished on her own as well.
Yes.
Which maybe helps set up the relationship for success in that way. That like she's not just sitting at home like, boo, you're just running around the country and I'm just here bored. It's like she's really in her own world. She's got her own successes. She has her own shit. She's not just like, Ashley, come to me. You guys have a really beautiful dynamic set up where, I mean, she's the head, is she the head carp?
Yeah, she's the head carpenter.
She's the head carpenter
on the Lion King
tour.
Lion King tour. Youngest woman ever to do that for Lion King.
Up.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yes. Oh, this gave me chills because I love hearing that. Because for me, I mean, we're segueing into a big part of why Ashley is here and what I look like as her as far as I'm going to stretch it and I'm going to say it because I believe you are. You're really iconic to me in our industry. And I do believe, like, we're young right now, but I think easily one day we'll be sitting drinking wine in 50s and being like, yo. And you're going to be one of those people that we look back on and go,
oh my God,
whoa.
Thank you.
No, I really mean it. I mean it. Because, I mean, just seeing, girl, don't cry. Your makeup's too ready for that. Don't cry. Stop, hold it together. Oh my God. Did I take everything back I just said? You mess.
You're a mess.
You're a whole mess. But I love seeing what you do, and you work so hard, so it's so well deserved, but you're paving a lot of ways. Magical to hear that your partner is on that level with you as well, that she's making literal monumental changes in our industry. Yeah. You've done that, okay? And we've been talking and telling people about her new job as far as being the overseer for you're the associate makeup and hair designer for Lion King. When in that role, and we know it takes a village to be that and make decisions. It's never like just how the president just doesn't, I don't even want to relate to the president right now because this is never a thing. But meaning a person in power, it's like it's always a village of people behind them to make decisions, push it forward. Sure. So you being in this associate designer position, I know when you're making changes or you step into this role, that has been around for about 23 years now. So it's not even just like, oh, this girl had the gig for a week or two. She's set in play, he or she, we will set that up, but has done what they've done over the years and implicating how they've run that role, and now you're coming into it. Yeah. So did you come in going, there's a couple things you wanted to switch up. Just like anybody naturally would stepping into a job, because everyone's different. Everyone runs things differently, and how you're going to vibe and do your job the best way you can do it in that role. Right. So coming into that role, how did you make it your own, and how did you move forward with it as far as what you wanted to implicate being that role now? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that is...
Big old question. Take your time.
Big old question.
You can break her down. Was there anything, maybe, I'll make it easier, off the top, was there anything that you were like, I would like to start implicating this into this position that I have?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do think that, coming into a role like that, it's not like there's like, a textbook. It's not like
a blueprint. Like
yeah,
what?
Exactly. Like there wasn't any handover, should I say. It's not
interesting.
Like,
okay.
It's not like I had like training or anything from like a predecessor or whatever. Like it was just kind of me stepping into it and figuring it out. And oh, by the way, half of the companies are on the other side of the planet. So they do things differently than how the American companies do. And like, it was all like kind of like a learning curve, figuring out like how, okay, like the Broadway company does things this way, but the Madrid company doesn't do things, or just things like that. Wow. And so like, there was a lot of just kind of figuring things out as I went, but quickly.
Ashley.
I know. It's a lot.
A lot of brain power in that.
A lot of brain power, but fun and super interesting and rewarding. And like, I loved getting to, make my way around the world, meeting the different companies and like just seeing how they do things. And it was just so wonderful to do that. Yeah. But what I quickly started to learn, I guess, in that first like year or so of like being the associate was, I just feel like there's so much more that we can be doing for like education.
Yep.
And just
hugely.
Like, yeah. And just like, things like, hair care, skin care, because this is one of those long running shows.
Yes.
And so, I don't think that many shows have to think about what are the long-term effects of, wearing, masks and head cranks and like,
grease paint and
And
this is heavy duty. For people that aren't aware of Lion King, I mean, this is, like she said, not only are people in the role of, it could be a lifetime for them. They could be in this role for...
Some people have been doing this for 20 plus years.
Truly. And what does that mean for, like you're saying, their hair and their skin and their everything? But continue, because
hair, skin, like all those things. And like, obviously, we have cast members of, a varying range of ethnicities.
Yes, 100.
So it's just like, what does that look like over a long period of time? And I really started to kind of like, compile like, conversations and observations that I've had around the world, and like just like and experiences that I had as a head of department when I was on tour, like skin concerns, hair concerns,
problems you came across, right?
Problems that I came across, like allergies to things, like just all these things that happen, like with different people, that you just like notice over time. And I think what I felt like I wanted to bring to the table was just educating not only ourselves as hair and makeup artists, but also the cast members, and just like helping them figure out like ways to, take care of them, not just like themselves, but like how can we help them help themselves, and how can we as hair and makeup professionals be better equipped? Because I think what we are afraid to say is like, we don't know something. I think the biggest takeaway is, don't be afraid to admit like you don't know everything. You don't know. And how can you?
No. And it gets hard too as well. And I love that sentiment, because I also think we live in a culture right now where a lot of cancel culture. Yes. And a lot of things where if people don't know, or they don't have the answers, or they're not educated, it's like cut them off, write them off.
Exactly.
So when people get put in positions or roles, we had a big talk about this earlier on the podcast in another episode. I believe my friend Mo, we went over it a little bit, so I love that we're touching on it, because it's really needed to talk about, is putting people in the positions of power, or in the roles of predominantly hair and makeup, which is what we're talking about today and did prior as well, which is that those people in that role need to have the education and the tools to succeed in that role. Yeah. Lion King being one of them. Like you're saying, there's so many factors that step into this role. If you get on as a swing, as a head, as whatever, to be in charge of hair or makeup for these actors. Sure. It is a long-running show. It is heavy-duty, thick makeup. They're sweating in it. They're wearing it twice daily, half the time, where they got to sit in that makeup for hours on end. And then they're running. I mean, it's a lot of care. And so not only do you have to implicate it on the job to the prep it and then remove it, but also, when these actors go home and they need to maintain. How do they maintain? Yeah. And if I come in and I'm just like, listen, I was showed how to do the face paint. That's all I know. I got nothing else for you. So when these problems arise, I don't have answers. Right. So now my actors are looking at me like, you're not equipped. You can't help me. You're supposed to be the one helping me. But if I'm there like, well, the people above me didn't help me. Right. Now I'm stuck. And then who's wrong? Yeah. The person that is there or the person above me that didn't set me up for quote unquote full success. Right. So now you, my friend, are in a position to set these people and these artists up for success that then only trickles down to then setting the actors up for success. It's a really, when we look at it from looking outside in, makes pretty much fucking sense. Makes a lot of whole sense to just do that. And oh, how easy it sense. Just like a whole big, seems pretty easy. But it is a long time coming, you know, because we can get complicated and talk about all the long existing roles of people that have been in these higher ups. And if they haven't implicated that, I always believe it starts from the top. Yeah. And it will trickle down, however that's being educated or what's being implied or everything is going, implicated throughout that process. Sure. So now you finally have gotten to step into this role and you're really making these changes. I mean, the biggest thing, I've never had that ever. I would love for you to tell us a little bit about that as far as what you started to do to help actually make a change with those problems, which I will give you a lot of props because one, you even being in the position of a head supervisor and you being that attentive and that aware throughout that process, you didn't know stepping into tour that you were going to, in 2 years, be offered that role as an overseer, makeup, and hair. Sure did not. Yeah, no. But you took notes, and this is why it's like, not to talk shit on myself, but if I was in that role, I don't know how aware. I mean, I might be aware, but I'm very like a quick solver. Like my brain wouldn't even dare explore like the longevity and really track and keep that in mind for, I mean, what you were doing was setting yourself up for your future and you didn't even know, but like you kept intact all these things. And now you're like, hey, heads up. You didn't even just get comfy in this new job of being like, guys, give me a break. I just stepped into this role. Like, let me learn this. Like, you're already head freaking first deep in it to make movement. Are you the most, you should really be so freaking proud, Ash. That's huge, dude. And when I saw it, you posted about it, and I'm going to let you talk because I want you to tell us about it, but it's like, you literally are starting that education route for people. And what are you doing? I know it's going to be a process and it's going to make its way. What has been the first, because it was the first, correct? As far as that education role for actors and artists alike. Yeah. What did you do? Where was it? How did that go for us? I would love to hear this.
So basically, you know, it was me and a few other management, people at Disney. And, you know, we all just like, you know, really talked about it. We're like, you know, like, there needs to be some sort of change, like, you know, like with, you know, years of like, you know, various skin concerns and hair concerns and, and just like, you know, and questions and just, you know, the desire for knowledge, just like, you know, from cast members and, you know, hair and makeup people alike. We're like, okay, how can we approach this? Like, how do we, because, you know, it's like, it's so intimidating at first. It's like, you know, where do you even start? And so last summer we set up a new production, the UK tour. Whoa. Yes, it's called the Rhino Tour.
Oh my God, cute. Fun, cute. She's cute. Little rhino tour.
Just a little rhino, like going around the UK.
Rhinoplasty tour. Different.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, okay. That was your tour.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I was literally the boss of that tour.
Oh, okay, yes.
Cool.
I remember. But we start setting this up. So, you know, after we'd like, you know, hired the team, everything, we're teaching them the makeups. We're still in that like rehearsal process before we reach the tech rehearsal situation. And so I got with our head of department and because she's from London and we were in Bristol at the time. Ooh. Not far from London. Love that.
Yeah. No, I know exactly where Bristol is.
I know you do.
I've been there so many times. It's exhausting.
You're practically
Bristol.
I know, Bristol again.
Here we go
again. But we were there, and I was like, okay, Ella, she's our head of department. I was like, you're more familiar with, you know, London-based, you know, professionals than I am. Like, let's like figure out like, you know, let's like try to find somebody who we think would be like a good educator. Like, just like, let's just start there.
Cool.
And then what we kind of developed, what we talked about was like, okay, we're in this like pre-rehearsal period time. this is kind of like the best time to get the whole cast together, the whole company together, and like let's just break down.
Start it from the top.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, like
the
start
beginning,
with the beginning
you know?
of this. Like
let's
production.
set this off now. Yeah,
yeah. Like let's like start off like strong, and like like what? And then we really had to like kind of like, I don't want to use the word soul search, but like what do we want to touch on? Because like Lion King is very specific about like the way that we prep our hair for wigs and the way that we even the wigs themselves are like very like non-traditional in the way that we think about them. So we had to like really think about like, okay, like with skincare and with shaving and things like that, what do we really need to focus on?
Yeah.
And once we really kind of pinpointed what we wanted to talk about, like we wanted to do just a session with the hair and makeup team alone, and then we wanted to do one with the cast.
Smart.
Separate.
Yeah, for sure.
And once we kind of narrowed down what we wanted to talk about, we started looking for a person who we thought like, who in the world could possibly fit this,
educating role. Like who's going to do this right and do it wise and do it, and
like who understands the demands of this show, like because it
even better.
Yeah, because that's also really challenging, because it's like we as valuable as it is, like we weren't looking for somebody who necessarily like only came from like a film background, because that's very different than a theatrical.
Sure.
Yes, like because the demands of like a touring theatrical company like are obviously very different than say working on a film set.
Hugely, yes.
Yeah. So we wanted somebody who really understood what it's like to travel all the time, be on stage, like and understanding like all different like ethnicities and like different hair types, different skin tones. Like, is
this person being implicated to tour, or be in a position that is full time to then go around and be this educator for all productions?
Well,
or
interesting that you asked that.
Yeah.
So we ended up finding this amazing woman. Her name is Kamanza, and she is it's casual. She's Stevie Wonder's personal hairstylist. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
I hate our industry so much. I hate it and I love it. It's my favorite, because the casual drops and just like how our world's like, where you're like, well, I'm in the presence of, I mean, being in our job, that's always one of my biggest highlights. Is just like you meet and are in the craziest places that you never thought you would be. Did you ever think you'd be in the presence of this woman?
No.
Nonetheless, being like, hey, I'm employing you and do like what?
Yeah, and I'm like interviewing her to be like,
God, I would be like, honestly, one-on-one, you have like I wouldn't even
like,
dare.
Hey, like just so you know, like you've got the job.
You've got the job. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like she does.
Here's the secret.
Yeah. Lost. Yeah. Lost in translation.
I'm so lost.
Like, you just walk out and act like you didn't get it, but you have it.
Yeah. But I'm gonna pretend to be super intimidating.
Yeah. Be cool with me. Yeah. God.
No, it wasn't like that at all.
No. Oh my God. Sometimes I have so many fantasies of what I would do, and never do.
We know all about your fantasies, Rachel.
Yeah.
Ashley.
You promised.
Oh shit. Anyway.
Come on. What is it? Kamanza. Yeah.
Safe word. But she is fantastic. So, and what's really, I mean, I just don't even know like how we found her. I'm like, this is just incredible. I feel like it was just like somebody that just like magically fit everything, and just like what got dropped in there for us. And
literally,
basically, she's Stevie Wonder's personal when he's like UK performing over there.
Yeah.
And she also teaches classes for students, like drama students.
Oh, cool! Yes,
and people, and like also like hair and makeup people. They have a union there called Bectu.
Stop.
Yeah, and so she works with them a lot and teaches like specifically classes like for textured hair. To teach like textured hairstyling and dark skin tone, makeup, application.
Why are we so far behind US? Like, what's good? Like, what are we doing? Where is our? And that's the thing where I'm like, people are like, well, it just hasn't happened. Why? It's happening other places.
I know.
It's
like,
going on. It's progressive.
Why haven't we caught up?
What is the deal here? Yeah.
But, so that's what she does. Like, she teaches. She goes around and teaches like various classes on like textured hairstyling, makeup for all ranges of skin tones. And so we found her and we're like, please.
How did you even though? Were we allowed to know that process? I know that might be also a long story, but it's quick and easy. Stop.
Instagram. Yeah. Ella found her on Instagram.
God, what a see, this is when I love social media.
Alive. Like,
what a time, baby.
Yeah.
Found her on the IG, wrapped her up, DM'd her.
Yes. slid into those DMs.
Miss,
and
don't hate to bother you, but oh my God.
Exactly. So
wow,
we found her and then talked to her. She was like, yes, I would love to come. And then, so yeah, we did like a few day intensive workshop just with the hair and makeup team. We went over things like braiding, like cornrowing, like, like different like hair preps, like, and I guess I should like elaborate what I mean when I say hair preps, because maybe not everyone knows what I'm talking about.
100%.
But basically, when you wear a wig in a show, you've got to arrange your hair in a wig cap underneath it so that it's all like nice and tidy and it fits under your wig.
It's almost like making a skull to then prep for the new hair you're going to put on and wear and look as natural as possible.
Yeah, and you want it to be as flat as possible and like have as small of a silhouette as possible.
Yes.
And so what she did, like we went and talked about like, different ways to prep, various textures of hair for, whatever wig that they're going to be wearing. So we did that, and we went over like different hair care products for different hair types. Like she taught us how to do porosity tests.
I don't even know that word. I don't even know that word.
Yeah, porosity.
What is that?
So basically, without getting like boring and technical, it's just like, so like your hair, and it basically just like how porous is your hair, like.
Wow, this lady is, that's insane.
Yeah, like the cuticles of your hair, like, they're either like, they're open or they're closed, and based on like, genetics and like, the level of damage in your hair from, bleaching or coloring or whatever, like, heat styling, like, the hair, the cuticles either, are more open or they're more closed, things like that.
When I think I know how to do my job, and then I quickly realize I do not know much about anything about my job. It's just insane. Like, you really do meet those people that are on another caliber. Yeah. Not even having met nor looked at this woman. She's clearly that type of individual. Like, just beyond.
Just beyond.
Educated beyond belief in her craft and just has excelled. I mean, clearly, if she's in the presence of and in close company with Stevie Wonder, I would dare, genius. How dare you?
I would dare say.
I would dare say it, and I would dare mean it. Yeah, okay.
That she definitely knows
Damn.
what she's saying. Yeah, so we did that.
Are you trying to take this now and it will be a thing for each company? Because again, it's hard when tours have been running for, I think that's a hard thing about our job as well, when we have to be the new kids on the block a lot. Yeah. Where you show up to a production like Wicked or like Lion King or like Book of Mormon, where they've been running,
established,
really in the shits, and the actors are conditioned into what they know and what's their system of how things are run. Yeah. And you got to crack open that door, Miss Ashley, and be like, hey, everyone, we're going to do it this way now. Yeah. Are you a little anxious about possible kickback that you might get, even when you're doing a progressively good thing? Or do you think that it's just going to be, luckily, because it's something that's so needed, I'm assuming most people are going to receive it quite well. That they're going to be excited about it.
So far, we've done this now with the UK production, and we just did it on the US tour, the one I was just on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I got to go back to the tour, and we got to host another one of these workshops. And like honestly, like both the UK and the US touring casts, it was met with like just overwhelming enthusiasm.
I mean, that.
Even if maybe we didn't touch on everything that we wanted to touch on. I think that just the fact that we've, we've like gone on the brink of this.
Yes.
Even the fact that we've like, dipped into the surface of this, I think is just, there's been so much like positive feedback just, because, I think people are feeling seen and like, it's like, it's about time.
Really, truly. And that's the thing that makes me the most, this is something that I can see and clear. And obviously you making that movement, it shows that it's something you're passionate about. Yeah. Not only education, but also stepping into zones of places of power to be like, hey, this has been needed. This is change that, like you're saying, is well overdue. Education that is well overdue. Right. So then you're able to be like, hey guys, and you're that shaker, you're that mover making it happen. Like, it is so, it really is. It's so exciting. I get excited, and a lot of people are sayers, and then there's doers. You're a doer. I say, and there's things that I'm making slow movements in, because I'll take my small victories and do my part that I'm doing on sets that I've been on or with clients, and doing my due diligence with stuff to stand up for and make sure that environments are set up for success, or that things are being noted, and when there's wrong shit in our industry, to kind of right them along the way as we go. But it's always, the biggest changes come when it's people like you that get in these positions. And I just hope that continues through generations on, and I hope that you're setting the standard and people are watching and listening and looking and taking note and going, hey, if she can do that, people get so set in their stone and ways of going, well, it's been done this way for 20 years, which means I never even understand that sentiment. And so many bad things were done for a bajillion years. That doesn't mean you continue to do them. So it just is the start now, start today, and at least you started. Yeah. Like you said, we haven't gotten to every little, but you started.
But we've started something, And
like, it is huge.
And what I do want to say also is that, like, I'm really not interested in, like, the blame game. I'm not interested in, like, you know, saying, well, you know, this person, you know, didn't, you know, give these people the tools to, you know.
So it's so-and-so's fault, and this fault, and like, I'm the hero.
Yeah, no.
Trust me, you're not the one. No,
she's not.
You don't even wear that. Like,
we don't know her. But, like,
never met her.
That's not, like, what, you know, I'm trying to do. And, like, I'm not, you know, like, and I guess I did feel when I started on the tour with Lion King, like, there was a lot of pushback because we changed a lot of things about the makeup.
Yeah.
Like, we changed just, like, kind of the way the show is run. And, like, we started working with, like, a new makeup company. So, like, there was, like, a lot of pushback from people in that sense, just because, like, they were used to a certain thing for such a long time. So I learned quickly what it was like to be, like, that new kid and, like, kind of have to, like, you know,
gain that trust.
Being
like, I promise you, I'm moving in your best interest.
Exactly.
It's going to feel weird. You're going to have to adjust.
Exactly.
But it is going to be for the better.
Yeah.
And eventually, once the time and all of that shows and progresses,
right.
the majority of the time people do. Actors, I think, are people of habit.
Right.
And so once they have to break that habit, a lot of them will get in their head sometimes about, okay, well, it just trips them up a little bit. But it's like so you're going to get that little friction at first, and then most people with change, it takes a second to accommodate, and then go forward with it.
And then we did, you know, and I think that moment of time was difficult, like, having to be like that person in, you know, kind of in the face of, like, you know, explaining to these people, like, you know, I do have your best interests at heart. Like, I am carrying out these changes, and I hear your concerns, and I want to help, and I want to fix them, and I want to, you know, I want to leave you better than I found you.
Yeah,
you know,
100%. So you're doing the best at your job.
Yes.
You're continuing, like we're saying, longevity for your skin, your face, the really important parts of the show. I know this. I mean, there's so many elements to, let's even just base it off of Lion King, that so many factors into these actors' endurance, their physicality, like everything about this show. But hair and makeup plays a very, very large part. It's not something that can be remiss to just be like, oh, you just don't want to wear that makeup today? Scar? No, you can't really do that. They won't know who the F you are. Like, so it's really important. So I'm glad you didn't, with getting a little bit of kickback, which was naturally to be found, but you didn't give up. You weren't like, oh, forget it. Okay, too much conflict. You know what? We don't want to make a fuss. Right. Which I also think on the other hand, a lot of people do that, where they're scared of knowing that inevitably, like we had said, people are nervous for change. So it's like, I don't even want to enter that door because I don't want to be the first one to do it. The starters of this world, like I said, the people that are making the movements and going forward with progress, naturally there is going to be conflict for change. Usually, probably, inevitably. So I'm happy that you're pressing through, and will continue to, no matter how many other doors maybe give you a little shake, but you're still pushing and moving and doing what you need to do. And it's, like you said, long overdue. So I'm very, very thankful.
Thank you.
And I'm happy we're putting it out, because it really, it's a topic, it's a conversation that I think if once people, like you said, don't be so scared to have it. Don't be scared to raise your hand and be like, this hasn't been working, you know what, our bad for a couple years, or this and that. Like, this is, I think, a generation of people that is okay with owning faults and then making amends almost, and making anew to then start the actual change.
And education has never been more accessible than it is now. So it's just like, you know what, like, yes, I'm the associate hair and makeup designer, but, like, you know what, I don't know everything.
Right.
But I want to learn, and I want to help you guys learn more, and I want, you know, I want to, like, carry out as much education as possible, so that, like, not only can I be better equipped to help, you know, hair makeup departments and department heads, and have that trickle to like all the companies around the world, but, like, I want them to be able to help themselves. I want them to be able to, like, you know, make even better, more informed decisions about, like, you know, what is, you know, the best for their skin type and their hair type, and you know, like, all those things. Like, I want, like, that to just kind of ripple out.
And be heard. It's a really big thing, because I think being the receptive leader that you are when you're in that role of head, you don't get so, because we live in we're in an artist industry. A lot of people are very sensitive about their craft. They're a lot of sensitive about the product that they're putting out, and especially if they get the kickback as an artist, or when you're in that role of, well, I don't like the way you do my makeup, or I don't like the way this goes down, or I don't like the way that goes down. Right. You're so good at sitting, hearing a problem, not internalizing it and taking it personally. You're able to progress through it and go, how can I help you? Right. How can I get you to the place where you do feel good about what I'm doing? Right. Not make it a you thing, not make it a, everything. And that is generally the whole thing with moving forward with ultimate change. It's not about you. Right. It's a really bigger picture in these kinds of movements. So like you had said, even the people that have been in those positions, this is not a podcast nor a platform to be like, fuck all the people below us. No. And like the generations going forward to be like, we're the ones to change the world and it's going to be perfect now. No. But let's now, like any change every evolution in life, with periods of time, you got to look at where we've been faulted or where we have had our mistakes and progress. That's it. Yeah. So amen to you and your team. I'm really proud of you guys. It's very, very exciting.
Thank you so much.
On top of literally that, which is just mind-boggling and so exciting. I'm just very excited to hear more and more about it. You've also, like I said, you don't stop. You're still going. You're moving into your new home. You are moved in, but you're setting that up. And you're quite frequently, last time we talked, I mean, you were at Radio City working the Christmas show, right?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So that was your,
everywhere. Yeah.
Like everywhere.
Everywhere.
What a fun show, though. Iconic to work in that building. When I worked in it, I was like, this is unlike any other house. It feels like, truly.
There's nothing like it in the world.
No, nothing. And it just, even in the girls, you've gotten to go up to the Rockettes room?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I'm like, this is like Hollywood, old school Hollywood, like vanity mirrors, like what you think like a backstage makeup room would be. It's like, are their dressing rooms would be? It is. Yeah. So I like lived out my fullest fantasy when I worked their spring show, like way back in 2000, whatever it was. But it was so much fun. And you rode that out for the season, the whole Christmas season? Yep. And now where are we at? What's your day-to-day like right now? Are you a little bit calm?
A little bit calm. Like right now, it's mainly focusing on the move. Yeah. Renovating this new apartment, which is a whole full-time job in itself.
A whole literal full-time job. I don't know if people know that.
Yes.
But I've watched a couple friends now do the move and I was like, I'll rent forever. Because I know it's worth it, but holy mother shit. I can't even imagine.
I know. I mean, like, I know it's going to be worth it someday.
It will.
I'm not there yet. Like, I right now, I kind of can't see that light just because I'm not a handy person.
I'm not handy.
I don't know how to like.
If anyone who just wants to learn to install things for fun and like for free, just for like for the resume, I know I hate to do that to people, but if you want to build your resume, just like come to Ashley's home and like
build her a cabinet. All the exposure it will get you.
You're gonna get you a lot of exposure. We like to use that in our industry. Exposure is a beautiful thing. It's so helpful.
Like just like build me this like free bookcase, like
not a big deal. It's called education.
It's called education and it's called free experience. It's just called not being paid.
It's just like, I don't know, exposure just magically means you're not paid, but it's an exciting way of not being paid.
It's what an exciting way of being broke.
And I reap the benefits, so I don't know about you, but it's a great deal.
Yes. It's a win.
Win. You're going to get me in trouble on this podcast, bro. I can't. Oh my God, that is hilarious.
But yes.
I'm getting you back on track. Get you back on track.
I'm doing that.
Yes.
Doing Lion King all the time.
Okay.
SNL is a thing.
SNL is a thing. There's a couple things that was very exciting about Miss Ashley, and we can share it because luckily for you and for our viewers and listeners, we won't even, if anybody is, and I watched the first season of Glow Up. Which is the Val Garland, am I deeming that right? It is her show. It was based off of her and a couple other judges, but it was predominantly like she was the face. And Dominic, okay.
Yeah, they're both co-judges.
Love that. Yeah. And so you geeked me out because I, for a second, thought she was a contestant. She just didn't tell me, and I thought she was a really shit friend for not telling me what an experience she had. But you were a guest judge.
Yes.
Did you love, how was the experience?
It was so cool. I've never done anything like that
Right,
before.
like being a guest and on a TV show set and being, I mean, my God, I want to know all the things.
Well, it was so weird because, we were still setting up the new tour in the UK.
Oh, so you were there?
Yeah, I was already there.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I happened to be there. So
yes.
So that was great.
I guess I'll do it.
I guess I'll do it. But at the time, Glow Up had not been on Netflix the first season.
Oh.
So I had not seen it.
Oh my God. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Well, they always shoot out of, we never know. It's all the behind the scenes. Sure.
Yeah. So season 1 was existing, but it was not available to U.S. audiences yet.
Interesting. Okay.
I had not seen the first season yet. So, when they contacted us, like, I thought that it was going to be more like my designer, Michael Ward, the original hair and makeup designer. I thought that it was going to be more him as the guest judge, and that I would just be like, kind of like, I don't know, in a corner, like washing the makeup brushes or something.
Right.
Like,
oh my God.
And so I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then, like, just, through like a transpiration of events, like, it ended up being like me doing it. And I don't think that I fully realized.
I love when this happens.
Like, what was happening, like, almost until, like, we were in those, like, like final days leading up to like shooting the episode, where I was like, oh, this is like a big deal.
Oh,
like,
wait a minute. Yeah. Like, I'm like full on. And first of all, I'm also now judging people's, like, I mean, we know the ins and outs of like shows, and I don't know how, winners and all that get maybe skewed, or how authentic it is to like the choice of whatever. But I mean, my God, what an experience. Were you there for a challenge that they did, and then you judged the challenge, or was it one of the final like dual rounds where you were a part of that? Are you there for the whole episode and you're intergrained in the episode? Intergrained is maybe not a word, but pretend it was.
Intergrained, yeah, I know it.
Thanks, good.
Yeah.
Oh God, Rachel, I need to go to college. so bad.
Yeah, we were there for the whole thing. So basically, I got to judge the contestants on Lion King makeups.
Oh my God, I die. I love.
Yeah, so they got to each do a Lion King makeup.
Cool.
And what was really cool is that they were the models were actual cast members of the West End production.
Oh my God, I love it even more.
Yes, and so we got to have them do that, and then I judged their work. We picked a winner. The winner got to assist me backstage at the Lion King. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to see this episode. I'm gonna geek.
Yeah.
Because I watched the whole first season.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun show. I mean, we're coming a long way with makeup shows and different things like that. And it is really fun. It's fun seeing the people go through all the different challenges. I actually am watching it. I'm learning a lot about myself as far as like my craft goes. Yeah, being like, that's something to look out for. It's cool seeing that.
You see yourself, like, just because, we're all learning. We're always in like various stages of improvement. Like, we're never like going to be at this like apex of like, oh, now I know everything. Like, and so like I see a lot of like, having now gone and watched like the first season, I was like, oh wow, I do see a lot of myself like in these makeup artists, and like I'm
how
learning
your thought
from them.
process was, even being in that position of like really learning, like being really vulnerable to like that journey. Yeah,
exactly. And putting yourself out there and getting feedback like that. I mean, I mean, it's.
Do you see a lot of people cry?
Actually,
a lot of criers?
No.
No? A lot of criers in the first one, and I love it. Yeah, it's like they crack it all at one point, and I'm just like, I feel like I would probably do the same, because I've cried a lot in my career, like a lot of moments of stress and like breaking down and being like, this is the hardest thing ever, why am I doing this? Like I've 100% crashed and burned, and then be like, get back up. Like,
100%. I mean,
questioned the whole thing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a lot like, oh yes, thank you so much, and then I like go into the bathroom and I'm
oh God.
Yeah.
Gotta do it sometimes. You gotta like.
And then you walk back in there and you're like,
everything's perfect.
Everything's great.
I'm literally fine. Thank you for asking. Nobody's asked. Yeah.
Yep,
Not a soul has asked you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm very excited to see that. That's just like a fun, cool thing. Like once you start getting that realm, like you're just like, who would have thought all these fun? Yeah. You've had an epic year, Ashley.
It was a wild one.
And I'm gonna touch. I mean, marriage, big monumental jobs, like fun. I'm excited to hear more. I'm excited to see more from you.
Yeah.
Everything that's coming. I do want to ask you. This is the first time we've done this on my podcast, and I'm like super happy to do it with you.
Oh boy. Okay.
No, it's fun, Ashley.
Okay.
Now that you've opened up your whole wide world to us, we're only gonna like, I don't know, like slide in a little bit more, and that's fine, and not vulnerable.
Love it when you
at
slide
all
in.
whatsoever. Okay. Oh, Ashley. God. A full gulp. I'm dead. Also, I don't know if y'all know this game, and I like sponsor us Truth or Drink, but I'm obsessed, and there's all these different categories and like how hardcore they get, or like how like, soft and cute they get. So we're keeping it PG for the pod.
Okay.
But I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. It's like a rapid fire round, so you can't think too long. Okay. And you can't give me a novel of an answer. So just your do or die, okay? Life or death, Family Feud style countdown.
Oh, okay.
No pressure. Okay. What is the most courageous thing you've ever accomplished? Ouch.
Oh my God.
Not broad at all.
Rude.
What is the most courageous thing you've ever accomplished?
So rude.
I know. I know. Hard. I'm actually trying to. I don't even. Most courageous.
Why did you sound like Moira?
I don't. Tell us.
Most courageous.
Most courageous. No, tell us.
Oh gosh.
It's not hard. Just think really. Just give it all you've got.
Answering this question first.
Oh, Ash.
Putting myself first.
Guys.
Yeah.
We fuck with this girl heavily. Jesus God. That is a very courageous thing.
Okay.
And it takes a very long time to get there. I'm on that journey as well. What's something you're proud of that not many people know about?
Oh gosh, I just like unspilled my whole thing to you.
I know.
What am I most proud of that people don't know about?
Something that you're most proud of, that not many people know about. And not meaning nobody ever knows this. Maybe some people know, but not everyone knows. Something you've accomplished, something you've done, you're proud of. We don't know, but guess what? You're all about to know.
We're all about to know.
What a skeezy host I've become.
I know. I was like, ooh.
Oh God. Would love to heat this pot up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I feel the pressure.
No pressure.
Okay.
5, 4.
Ashley. Damn it.
I told you no breaks.
No, I'm like, not good. You're going to edit this out. It's fine.
Yeah, we're going to edit it. It's chopped. It's already gone. It's the episode.
Just chop it
You
out.
have this.
Yeah. Most proud thing. Oh.
What's something you're proud of that not many people know about? Boom. $1 million question. Having sex with Rachel, and nobody knows about it. She's very proud of it. Next.
I guess, yeah.
Me.
I guess
Literally me. Oh,
okay.
God, I'm taking it away from her. What snack do you find the most comforting consuming?
Cheese and crackers.
Stop it. Really?
That was easy, yeah. Yeah.
Even on Crafty? What's your favorite Crafty moment? Because I will tell you right hard, quick, what mine is. Mine's like kind of technically a hot meal, but...
not like a meal, but just like snacky.
Snacky.
For Crafty, I would probably say like if they just have like apple and peanut butter.
I love, it's like a good pick-me-up during the day.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But one that I like savor over, I don't know if you've experienced this on any sets that you've been on, or you're just not as fortunate as me in your Bristol
I'm not
and,
as rich as
I don't
you.
know, just like jet-setting world, but
Yeah.
have you ever had an hors d'oeuvre called grilled cheese and tomato soup?
No, tell me more.
Oh, so it's like really good, like very expensive, like almost like exclusive if I must, but like, fuck you, Ashley. Yeah, grilled cheese. Okay. It's so good. It is my favorite, like on a cold set. And it's like hot meal, which if people don't know what hot meal is, like when you're on set, it's like, it's not the full meal when you're sitting down for lunch or dinner, but it's like a heftier meal than just Crafty, which is like snacks and a spread that's just on set usually accessible the whole time. So you can snack and like have food with these crazy hours that we do. But oh my God, grilled cheese and tomato will fuck up my whole life on a bad day. In the best way. Fuck it up in a good way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I only want to get fucked up in a good way.
Only want to get fucked up in a good way.
Okay, I think I can answer the other question.
Oh my God, and I was about to wrap her up. Tell me, what is your something you're proud of that not many people know about?
Yeah, I don't want to say most proud because that's like my whole life.
Okay,
no.
Love that, whole life.
That most people don't know about.
Yeah.
I'm learning French right now.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Hence the ensemble. Hence the ensemble.
Oui.
Very good, Ashley. You're clearly progressing in your class. It shows you're very talented. Yikes. Cut it and cancel the whole fucking episode. Ashley, I cannot thank you enough for sitting with me.
Oh,
you're a riot. You're a mover, and I'm very excited for all the things that you're doing and that we're going to continue to watch you do. But very, very pleased and thankful for your time with me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
What an honor. I appreciate you. No, it's really my honor. Truly, thank you.
No, it's my honor.
It's my honor, Ashley. It's my honor.
Okay, sorry.
We're going to tag her below. We're going to do your Instagram.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you want the people to know before you go, where we can find you? Anything else like that?
No.
Mainly the IG. Slide in Ashley's DMs and she will respond. And if she doesn't, come talk to me and I will force her to respond.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.